Sports, it's in the game.
Like, I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. We gon' see though, I feel like she more of a CEO. Or maybe she doing volunteer work in Rio. It's not like I need her.
Let's go!
They'll start out here with the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Ready.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Now this defense for the Commanders is terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have covered.
Ready, ready!
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. He may go. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to first and goal.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
Come on, hey!
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
Look at the big man rumble. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
Well, you know, most quarterbacks, when you talk about their big play ability, you talk about the arm, but this, an absolutely huge play with a leg.
And also with his mind, because he had to see this play develop in order to make the decision to keep it and run. And how about him looking up and seeing the seas part for him once he got past the line of scrimmage? My first thought, I think he can go all the way, and I'm trying not to take over your call of this play, partner.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the
an electrifying run there as he calls his own number and takes it all the way.
Brings a new dynamic to this offense, doesn't he? And right now I'm picturing
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The Broncos had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
So, Charles, this game number 2 in the NFL career, this rookie quarterback, his guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things, and they like the fact that he's not blaming other people because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. It's their quarterback. His way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos take a 3-touchdown lead.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Josh Allen, couple of touchdown passes as his guys win their 2nd straight to start the year. From there, let's get over to Arizona and check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Darius Slayton, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdown passes as his guys move to 2-0 on the young season.
They begin the drive with Williams. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
3rd and 12.
Ready.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Ready.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43.
Holding offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
Come on. Hey.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Second down at their 49-yard line.
Let's go.
Back to throw here.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
3rd and 16.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he
Go. Ready.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. He's going to keep this again.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Up the middle, it's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Commanders' 37.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flush to his right. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Taking it in from the 20. And the Broncos are able to stretch out their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Now,
The drive will start with an option going left. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A good chunk on the ground, and the keeper 17 yards, first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he's going to try and do this himself. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Ready.
Here's the option. Pushing his way through. Now he's loose again. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. 55 yards. And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo. Didn't let...
Ready. Ready.
And they'll begin by running the option. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
That was a really nice play. He was able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. The keeper there good for about 9, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and inches. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Now this is going to be a quarterback draw. Yeah, great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Now hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. One of those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Now back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football.
Here we go. Strike. Ready.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now he'll try to run with this. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
And you know what we just witnessed, partner? A new NFL record for single-game rushing by a quarterback, breaking Colin Kaepernick's record of 181 yards set in the playoffs back in 2013. How about that field vision, athleticism that we've seen throughout this game? It's been nothing short of elite.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and controlled you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. Gets around him. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line.
Off the option, here's Williams. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Dances by him. And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports